Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, you're not going to be seeing me on camera, but in today's video, we're going to be doing a Velocicoaster review. Now, Velocicoaster is an Intamin Blitz coaster, which opened last year in the summer, I think June, either June or July, either May, June, or July. I'm pretty sure June. And this opened at Universal's Islands of Adventure in Orlando, Florida, guys. And all I can say is that this coaster is definitely top 5, even top 3 worthy, based on its intensity, awesome launches, and some surprising airtime. So, let's start out our first category, which is height. Velocicoaster stands at 155 feet. And for the Blitz coaster, I mean, that is pretty good. I mean, it's kind of like an average height, but for what it is, that is pretty tall, guys. And Velocicoaster's height, when you're at the top of that top hat at its highest peak, you really feel like you're on top of the world. Like, that's how tall it feels. But it's not actually too tall compared to hypercoasters, gigacoasters, and stratocoasters, but it is definitely awesome for what this coaster is worth. And honestly, I don't think it needs to be any taller than what it is, so I'm going to be giving a 9. Next, we have speed. Velocicoaster travels at a maximum speed of 70 miles per hour, which is above average. Velocicoaster is speedy. It never, ever loses its speed throughout the duration of the ride. It never lets up. There's not one dull moment on Velocicoaster, guys. From that first launch, second launch, and right to the brake run, Velocicoaster is a beast. While it may not stay at 70 miles per hour, it sure feels like it does throughout the entire duration of the ride. So I will be awarding a 10. Velocicoaster's speed, however, isn't the only thing that stands out here. It is also the phenomenal drop out of the top hat, the 155-foot top hat to be exact. And guys, let me just say, if you were in the back row, you are going to be literally tossed out of your seat over this drop, guys. It is so intense. Like, I can't even explain it. Literally, the restraints that you were in allow tons of room to get whipped out on that drop. And you actually feel like you were going to come out of your seat over that. So you already know what I'm going to say. It may only be 80 degrees, still pretty steep, but not like 90 degrees or anything. But I am still going to be giving a 10. Next, we have the launches. Velocicoaster has a total of 2 launches. The first one going 0 to 50 miles per hour in 2.4 seconds, I believe. And then the second one bringing you 40 to 70 miles per hour. And guys, one of 2 of these launches are really intense. The first launch feels kind of gradual. It's not too gradual, but the first launch feels gradual. From 0 to 50 miles per hour. But the second launch, surprisingly, like caught me off guard. It was way more intense than I thought it would be, 40 to 70. Like, think about it for a second. That adds on 30 miles per hour, but the first one adds on 50, from 0 to 50, but 40 to 70. But the 40 to 70 feels more intense than the first one. It feels like you get to the speed a lot faster. I don't know why, guys. It's like a little trick they did. But I love that trick. I love that second launch, and that is the reason I'm giving this category an 8.5. Next, we have airtime. And guys, airtime is more expected on Velocicoaster than I was originally expecting. I was expecting high intensity, but not only is there high intensity, but there is a lot of airtime. For instance, there's airtime coming out of the Immelman, so going out of the Immelman after the first launch, and then there's also airtime going into the dive loop. Right before you go into the dive loop, going into it, you get airtime. Then you go around a little bit, and then you go through an airtime turn, basically a turn, airtime hill kind of thing. And then there's just a lot more airtime. There's airtime very intense airtime over the top hat element. There's also a lot of airtime on the outer bank. And then the ejector airtime hill right before the barrel roll, or as Universal calls it, the Mosasaurus roll, which we'll get into later in this video in a different category. On that hill, you get very intense ejector. You get whipped out of your seat on that. So overall, I think there is a lot of airtime on Velocicoaster, but not like RMC level. So for airtime, I'm going to be giving a solid 8. Our next category is inversions. Velocicoaster has 4 inversions. It has an Immelman, it has a dive loop, it has an insane 0G roll, and an insane Mosasaurus roll, or barrel roll is the official term, but Universal calls it the Mosasaurus roll. And all 4 of these inversions surely deliver. The Immelman, it sort of delivers. It's not like insanely intense, but out of that Immelman, you do get airtime, not like any hang time or anything. So it's kind of mediocre. Same with the dive loop. You do get airtime going into it. But it's really the 0G stall and the barrel roll, or Mosasaurus roll, that's truly stand out on Velocicoaster. And I personally prefer the barrel roll over the 0G stall. The 0G stall is the best stall I've experienced. It has some insane hang time. You seriously hang there. You literally feel like you're going to fall out of your seat in a non-GP way. And the barrel roll, you just get like lashed through that thing. And you're literally right above the water. You were literally only feet away from touching the water. That's how insane this thing is. And honestly, guys, it is my favorite inversion to this day. Out of all the 103 coasters I've been on, it is my favorite inversion. It's the most intense inversion I've experienced on any roller coaster I have ridden, guys. And that is why this has a great selection of inversions. But this inversion by itself, these 2 inversions, earn this category a solid 10. Our next category is overall layout. So, Velocicoaster first begins by banking out of the station and then turning left. Then you get into the launch zone right here. You're about to launch. You wait for about 6 seconds, and then you launch. From 0 to 50 miles per hour in about 2 seconds, up into the Immelman. You're diving through these rocks, then you go down into the dive loop. Then you do some banked turns, an airtime hill there. You're basically just weaving through the rocks. A lot of near misses around here. Another bank turn. Another bank turn. Again, a lot of near misses. And then you bank down into the second launch, 40 to 70 miles per hour. Up and then into the 155-foot top hat. An 80-degree drop down. Then you go into the 0G stall. Then you're basically going into the spaghetti bowl section. At least that's what I'm calling it. An outer bank turn. And then you're basically just twisting around in a circle. Airtime hill. And then the Mosasaurus roll. Up. Bank away. And then into the brakes, guys. And guys, that is one heck of a ride. This layout has so much originality. Nothing's too repetitive. There's always something new that you're going into, whether it's a brand new bank turn, an inversion, or an insane airtime moment. This coaster is packed with originality. So overall layout, I'm going to be giving yet another 10. Our next category is restraints. So let me just say, Intamin has seriously stepped up from their older Blitz coasters. Like, for instance, their older Blitz coasters like Cheetah Hunt and Maverick have other style trains. But Velocicoaster was the turning point here. Velocicoaster has the modern-day Intamin Blitz coaster trains. Guys, let me just say, these are a big step up. For starters, it's very comfortable restraints. that have tons of leg room. So even if they do staple you, you're not really stapled. There's still going to be a ton of leg room for you to get airtime and a lot of other notable things on this phenomenal coaster. And the actual seats you're sitting in, they're pretty comfy as well. They're not like hard or anything. And honestly, I mean, come on, guys, look at this train. Look how cool this looks, guys. Look at these lights. Look at the front of the train. I mean, that already adds on some more points, just the full-on appearance of this. But I love these new restraints. They're overhead, so they come down from over your head. And I just love this. So for restraints, I'm going to be giving a 9. And another thing to talk about is Velocicoaster's operations. Operations on Velocicoaster is probably the best I've ever seen. Now, the video you're watching right now, it is not, this clip you're watching right now, it is not good operations during this clip, because Velocicoaster is down in this clip. But overall, the operations are usually very good for Velocicoaster. Right when it gets out, right when it enters the station, everyone gets off immediately because they have lockers. No one is going over to the other side to put their loose articles in bins, because you know how long that takes. It literally takes the GP like an entire minute to like put all their belongings down, their phones, their water bottles, all their like accessories. It takes up an extra minute, guys. But for Velocicoaster, you put all your loose articles in lockers before you board, and then immediately you board, and they're already checking restraints once you're in. And I counted most of these operations only took 30 to 50 seconds, guys. And that is very good, considering that Velocicoaster gets the longest lines in the entire park, in the entire Park of Islands of Adventure. So I'd say these are some pretty outstanding operations. So I'm going to be giving another 10. Alright guys, time for our final category, and that is theming. Let me tell you guys, Velocicoaster is a roller coaster that cannot beat any other roller coaster when it comes to theming. This is the best theming I've ever seen on any other roller coaster. The interaction with the rocks and the boulders. Then we got the animatronics, the insanely designed animatronics. They literally look like real velociraptors. And of course, you've got this section right here. We actually see a design, an animation of the train going by, and then velociraptors chasing after it. This is literally the best theming I have ever seen on any roller coaster, guys. Like, this is seriously top tier theming. I'm going to be giving a 10. Now, guys, for our final score of Velocicoaster. Now, the final score of this phenomenal Intamin Blitz coaster is, you guessed it, guys, a 10. There is absolutely nothing that could be improved with Velocicoaster. This is God tier. In fact, I even contemplating whether this is better than Iron Gwazi. I've decided Iron Gwazi is better, but still, this is just insane. See, Velocicoaster is the king coaster in the world. This is the best roller coaster in the world. It's not my favorite, but it is the best roller coaster in the world. It has the intense layout, it has the theming, it has everything you could want in a roller coaster. So I'm going to wrap up our review here. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more coaster content like this, coaster vlogs, coaster news, and a lot more, make sure to subscribe to the channel and definitely like this video. It would really help me out. And if you turn on those notifications, you'll get notified whenever I upload a brand new coaster video. And as always, stay on the thrill side of life.